The moment when power dynamics shift in professional sports is rarely quiet. It's rarely gentle. And in women's basketball, the tremors of that shift are echoing louder than ever. Right now, those tremors are shaking the very foundation of the WNBA as it stands on the edge of a power struggle unlike anything the league has faced before. At the heart of the storm, a revered coaching legend with 4 WNBA championships to her name and a rising rookie phenom who's already being called the face of the future. The tension between Cheryl Reeve and Caitlin Clark isn't just about one event or one moment of friction. It's about an entire ecosystem of control, influence, legacy, and change, clashing in real time. On paper, Cheryl Reeve is everything a professional sports league could want in a head coach. Tactical, proven, respected. Since taking over the Minnesota Lynx in 2010, she's built one of the most successful franchises in WNBA history. Her philosophy: discipline, defense, unity, and veteran standards. Her resume: impeccable. Reeve is a 4-time champion, multiple-time Coach of the Year, and an instrumental force in elevating women's basketball to a place of legitimacy and grit. But no matter how many trophies decorate her shelf, no coach, no matter how decorated, can ignore the cultural shift sweeping through the league. Especially when that shift wears a number 22 jersey and moves like a comet. Caitlin Clark's rookie season didn't just draw attention, it exploded it. Overnight, arenas were packed, TV ratings doubled, merch flew off the shelves, and media companies scrambled to license her image. And it wasn't just hype. It was backed by numbers. Nearly 20 points per game. Over 8 assists. A playoff push for the Indiana Fever, a franchise that hadn't sniffed postseason relevance in nearly a decade. But Clark's real power? Influence. She's not just a scoring machine. She's a brand, a phenomenon, and a commercial force whose gravitational pull is redefining what it means to be a rookie in this league. And that's where the real conflict begins. Because influence, in sports, is a currency. And when players possess more of it than coaches, friction becomes inevitable. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, meant to be a celebration of the league's best and brightest, has now become the battleground for this generational clash. Behind the scenes, something is brewing. Whispers of tension between Reeve and Clark over coaching strategies, player deployment, and authority have leaked into the public arena. And while neither side has publicly addressed the rift in concrete terms, the implications are massive. What happens when a coach who has helped build the modern WNBA is now challenged, even indirectly, by the very player driving its next chapter? Traditionally, all-star coaching assignments have been handed to veteran leaders, those with the best records, the deepest experience, and the earned respect of their peers. Reeve fits that mold perfectly. She knows how to coach talent. She's guided legends. She's managed egos. But what happens when the league's most powerful new figure isn't just a player, but a player who reshapes everything? Clark didn't climb the ladder one rung at a time. She launched past it. She's influencing league policies, TV broadcast schedules, sponsor preferences, and now, some speculate, even coaching dynamics. Behind closed doors, league officials are reportedly navigating a complex web of logistics and ego management. How do you assign coaching roles when your star player, the reason millions are tuning in, is quietly clashing with the coach in charge? How do you manage an event built around harmony when there are cracks forming in its foundation? And this isn't just about Reeve and Clark anymore. It's about what kind of league the WNBA wants to be. A league run by veteran hierarchy? Or a league molded by the rising influence of athletes whose marketability can't be denied? For decades, women's sports have fought for visibility. Now they have it, thanks in no small part to Clark. But with visibility comes new power, and new politics. Clark's all-star selection wasn't just deserved. It was inevitable. Her numbers, her fanbase, her global appeal. She was the centerpiece of the event before the roster was even announced. But her presence also meant a shift in expectations. This All-Star Game wasn't just another summer exhibition. It was a platform, a spectacle, a showcase for Clark and the new wave she represents. Corporate sponsors knew it. Television networks knew it. Fans across the world knew it. But did the coaching staff? That's where the real anxiety creeps in. Did Cheryl Reeve, in all her expertise and defensive-minded strategy, fully embrace what this All-Star Game represented? Or did her old-school approach collide with the moment? Reports suggest that certain in-game decisions, rotations, minutes, shot calls, may not have aligned with what Clark's camp had hoped for. And while no one's naming names publicly, the fan discourse has taken off. Some accuse Reeve of diminishing Clark's shine. Others defend her commitment to structure and equity. But the debate now lives in the open. Is this just an isolated disagreement? Or a symptom of a larger, league-wide identity crisis? The sports world has seen this before. In the NBA, the rise of player empowerment reshaped how franchises are run. In the NFL, star quarterbacks dictate personnel decisions. In tennis and golf, individual athletes act as walking corporations. Now, the WNBA is at that same crossroads. Do you let star power guide the brand? Or do you double down on institutional leadership? The risk of ignoring this moment is enormous. Caitlin Clark isn't just another athlete with endorsement deals. She's the most influential force women's basketball has ever seen. Her games draw millions. Her face is plastered on Times Square billboards. She's the reason new fans are paying attention to a sport they once ignored. And when someone like that expresses even subtle dissatisfaction, the ripple effect is massive. Cheryl Reeve, for all her excellence, now finds herself walking a tightrope. She's not just coaching a team. She's navigating an evolving culture. She represents tradition, discipline, and structure. But the game she helped build is now evolving at warp speed, and its new architect doesn't play by old rules. The question becomes, can these two visions coexist? The truth is, they have to. Because the future of the WNBA depends on it. The league is growing faster than its infrastructure can handle. Ratings are up. Revenue is climbing. And with that success comes a need for maturity, not just from players, but from leadership across the board. Coaches like Reeve must find ways to mentor, not manage. Stars like Clark must learn to balance influence with respect. And the league must create a system that doesn't force its brightest stars into silent confrontations with its most trusted voices. This isn't about who's right. It's about who's ready. Ready to adapt. Ready to listen. Ready to lead. The coaching community, especially within women's basketball, has always prided itself on unity and shared purpose. These aren't just job titles. They're mentors, builders, icons. Cheryl Reeve has shaped more careers than we can count. But the new wave of players is coming with its own ideas, its own power, and its own expectations. And if the WNBA doesn't find a way to bridge that gap, they risk tearing themselves apart at the very moment they've finally broken through to mainstream success. Fans are watching this unfold with growing intensity. Online discourse is splitting along generational lines, some siding with Reeve's authority and tradition, others defending Clark's right to assert her influence. Comment threads are full of passionate debates. Some argue that stars should stay in their lane and play. Others insist that without Clark, there would be no spotlight at all. The media, meanwhile, is fanning the flames. Articles dissecting every coaching decision. Podcasts speculating about internal conflicts.